Settle squabbles with the goggles, battle like full throttle. Bugs to gobble, don't have to ask. She puts on the mask to face each task. Ready to face an attack, won't come in last.
Welcome back to Salazar Art Nation. This is Frank. And right now I'm actually working on a turnaround sheet for Captain Courage. It's one I did maybe a year or two ago. And actually I have it right here. This video is not going to be about the character sheet. That will be in a later video. But I'm showing you what I'm working on because it does relate to what I am going to talk about. So, this is the Captain Courage turnaround, or I guess character sheet, but not an RPG character sheet. It's just showing Captain Courage, just what he looks like front, back, and the side. And I'm gonna fix a few mistakes here, like the short arm, uneven short arms. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I actually have it here on the on my XP pen display tablet, and I'll show that in a little bit. But what I really want to talk about is just going over my old notes and showing some of the ideas and even some very rough thumbnails that I did have for a Captain Courage comic that was published in a 9-volt comic, the Christmas edition. So I just want to show some of that and just some stuff that I had written down. I am going to be skipping around because there's private stuff in here that I wrote. But so I'm not going to show everything. I thought I'd make a nice video, just looking back at some of the stuff I've done in the past and how I can still use that to make stuff now. So that is what connects the character sheet or the turnaround sheet, because I did this a few years ago and I just kind of left it. I never refined it. Started inking it, then finish it. But I am doing that now, and that'll be in a later video, and it's also going to be on the Captain Courage channel because it's Captain Courage related, so I'm going to put it up there. So that's what's coming up later, not today. But let's dig into the old notebook. And here is what I'm working on right now, the character sheet. So I do have it here in the computer, and I did modify some things because this is a picture of the character sheet and it's not scanned, so some of the perspective was a little off. So I just modified that on just on here on the tablet. That's what I'm working on at the moment, and you will see that in a later video, even how I fix some of it. But we're gonna look at the notebook. All right, so let's go through my notes, and these are church notes. So there are different types of notes in here. There's church notes, there's personal notes, there might be some private information, so I'll cover that or edit that as I see fit. Here in this second page, I've here written our influences, and I've God is the ultimate creator, and I don't know why I put R, so these are my influences, but well, I know why I put our because I was going to write down other well, I'll just give a backstory. I won't assume you know what I'm talking about. So I have another show where we live stream and have guests on, but we haven't had done that in a while, and I do want to bring it back. But on that show, the Turaco Creative Cast, it was myself and my co-host Anna Rob. So we both co-hosted uh, the Turaco Creative Cast, and but before that, we were doing another show, a casual live stream show, and we had a third person, uh, Keith Harper, and he had stepped down because he was working on his comic, Davy Rocket, and that was close to being finished. But we decided to rebrand because the original title was "I Can't Believe It's Not the Artcast" or the Artcasters. I think it might have been Artcast because we were kind of filling in for Jeff Lafferty and Gibran Redinger. They took a little hiatus at the time. So this was something where I think we were talking about this on an episode, and we also did an AMA, but we did that on Anna's channel, and she was my co-host. Um, uh, so I think that's why I put our influences, because I was gonna write hers, but I think she had those on her notes. So these are my influences. So God is the ultimate creator of old comics, and I talk about those old comics. And I also have comic strips, but I name a comic strip specifically. So Shadow, or The Shadow, and Batman and Doonesbury, and that's a comic strip. Which I don't remember when I first started reading it, but I was little. And then I have two people here, Scott Strickland and Jeff Lafferty. So these are just some of those old notes. I don't know who drew this. I think it was one of my kids. I don't know what this means. I think I was taking notes on how to do perspective, and that's just that's my Achilles, my Achilles heel. Church notes, choose to change notes. Let's see. Okay. So when we're developing or trying to think of the new name and rebranding, and we got a new channel because it used to be on my channel. I can't believe it's not the Artcast. The Trago Creative Cast has its own channel, and we're coming up with a new name, and we have made a list of okay, what is it that we're going to talk about? What are the original influences? So what we're originally coming off of was the Artcast, and that's why it's I can't believe it's not the Artcast, because the original Artcast, or a version of the Artcast, is what we were kind of aping, but in a good way. It's like a spin-off. I think we're like, well, maybe Comics Cast, but that's too plain. Now, some of these names might have already been taken. But like, okay, Art and Comics. I think we want Weird Art. I don't know. Here we start going to leaning more into the names we actually end up using. Creative Corner, Creative Cast, Creator Corner. Here I have Doodle Foo Creatives, Indie Creative Cast, which might also be taken. I don't remember if I ever checked any of these. Odenada. I am not sure what this means. I'm sure it meant something. I have no idea. Entomophagy. So I think that was something we wanted to talk about, and that's I think I do have watch is going off. I do have some notes over here about that. Uh, but that goes into the bug cast we were doing. We had a special episode about bugs. Here we got topics in the artworks. So maybe that was an alternate name where that might also be taken, but it sounds like it could be taken. But I don't even remember this. I just don't have it written down here. And this is what we end up with, the Truffle Creative Cast. Now this, I want to do a comic on epilepsy and what a little bit on epilepsy itself, giving some information about epilepsy, and also what it feels for a someone who has a certain type of epilepsy, what it feels for them, and so this came from an episode of the I Can't Believe It's Not the Artcast where we had Ronnie Gunter as a guest, and he talked about something that he was going through, not epilepsy, but something else that he has and is going through, and he made a comic about it. And I think in that episode, I actually talk about dealing with epilepsy. So this will be from my perspective. And so I wrote down epilepsy comic uh, because I was inspired by Ronnie. So this is something I still want to do. And I was talking to Ronnie about it in this time, so he gave me some notes. Some of these notes are related to that. And this is another comic, and this is Captain Courage. This was going to be the Christmas comic, but I decided to go in, just do a different take. But I still want to do this one, which would be the first part of the Christmas comic I did make. So these are my notes, and Ronnie also helped me with some of these. This is another comic. So this was also going to be part of this one. So it's actually, it would have been a 3-part a 3-part comic. And this had some of Anna's characters. So this Anna was actually gonna help me with this, but we had some notes of things we wanted, and my phone number is there, so I'll try to cover that up. Guests, okay. All right, so this is what I actually wanted to show. Now we're almost 10 minutes in, and actually past 10 minutes. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. This is what I really wanted to show. This is the Captain Courage Christmas comic that I did, and these are my thumbnails. And I probably drew this first and then realized I need a title page. So that's why this is page 2 and this is page 1. Just put this here and put this here. So this is Captain Courage and the First Christmas. And it's just a lot of stick figures and chicken scratch and just very rough thumbnails and some notes. And here at the end, I'm debating. I wrote the notes here, like, do I want the full nativity scene or do I want the logo? And I ended up going with the full nativity scene. So this is already done. It's in, you can't get it anymore, but in the 9-vote holiday edition, the first one that they did. So no longer part of that group, but I did get some comics out of it. and I should reprint this. But yeah, these were the thumbnails I made, and they're pretty much, except for adding more details, they're pretty much what it is. That's This was my guideline. Here's some more Traco notes. So this is something else over here that I wanted to show. So aside from making comics, drawing, and other stuff, I'm working on being a public speaker, and something I wanted to do is combine that side, the art side, the creative side, in making comics, making things, and combine it with public speaking, and how I can do it in a lesson or a public speaking format where I'm talking about certain things. So this is a series that I wanted to do, and then this was going to be like video series where I talk about this stuff, but in the background you'll be seeing some art being made. I did get a chance to do this publicly, so I didn't have art in the background. It's just me talking, and there is a video somewhere. If I find it, I'll link it. Where I am doing this, but I was very limited on time. I had maybe 10 minutes, and this was before I started. Before I joined the Toastmasters International, where I did get better at public speaking. It might not sound it now because I'm not really speaking publicly. I'm just going over my notes, so you're gonna get a lot of uhs and ums. But this is my notes, and I wanted to go back to it and redo it better. But I lost my notes until recently, where I found the notebook. So this is what I called it: character design your PC. So I think I was gonna call it designing your character. And so you think, oh, that's where that character sheet comes in. The turnaround sheet comes in. Like, oh, you think I'm gonna talk about making your own character? No, it's actually about, and there's a part of that. So I was including a turnaround with Captain Courage, and that will be like the example. But no, it's about your own character, and just becoming a better version of you. So you're talking about confidence and getting better and growing. Oh, I have a lot of notes here. I need to go over this. Here's where I have the title here: designing your character. Do you want to be successful? Well, how are you going to be successful? Do you want to be happy and content? Well, what are you going to do to be happy and content? So, how are you going to get there, achieve it? So, yeah, this is something I'm working on, and I think now with the Toastmasters and what I'm doing there and learning there, combined also with what I learned from church and choose to change, I think I'm getting closer to actually doing this in person, live. I guess this is my intro. Self-discipline, more notes. This. Now you're getting a bonus content here. If you're still here, because this is past 15 minutes. Hey, good on you. Thanks for sticking around. So another thing I want to do is do some music, but I am not the most musical person. But there is a song by Eminem, and I was changing the lyrics. It was "I am who you say I am," so I was changing the lyrics to turn into a Christian version with my own lyrics and some of the original lyrics. So it'll be, I guess, a parody, but not parody as in like, let's go laugh at it, but just I guess you could. I don't know, but just a my own Christian version. So it's here I have the original lyrics I want to start off with. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, okay, what did I write? I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, why would you say I am? And these are my lyrics. Because I serve the great I am. If I didn't, why would I say I am? He is the great I am. If he wasn't, why would he say I am the great I am? Still working on it. But yeah, these are some of my notes for that song. And there is a video, and I'm not going to list it. I'm not going to show it, where I am going over these notes and I am practicing rapping it. But only one person has gone to see that, and I think they're going to be the only person that sees that for now, until I actually get back to this. And I gotta come up with other songs too. But that's that. These are my old notes, and I'm gonna go back to these and resurrect them. Maybe change them around a bit, add a new flair to it. But this is why it's important to keep notes, because even if you don't use them right away, you can go back and see where you were at that time. And if you write some great ideas and forget about them, you can go back to them. So I was going through my notes, going through my notebooks. So I'll say it again. Keep notes. You never know when you're going to use them, when you're going to need them. Now, this has been Frank Salazar with Salazar Art Nation saying, make comics, not excuses. Stay creative, and we'll see you next time.
He settles squabbles with the goggles, battle like full throttle. Bugs to gobble, don't have to ask. She puts on the mask to face each task, ready to face an attack, won't come in last.